How are you doing? Today is Tuesday, April 9th for me, 2024, and I am back with an update video. I'm super excited to be here today and share what I have been working on over the past, well, I guess technically it would only be a week and a half for me, but 2 weeks for you guys. But very excited to be here today. If you're brand new to my channel, welcome. My name is Olivia, and this is my YouTube channel, Pumpkin Hollow Quilts. I typically will share what I've been working on cross-stitching and quilting, so if that sounds like something you might be interested in, I hope you will stay and hang out with me for a little while. I thought really quickly I would grab Fred. He was preparing to take a nap, but I got him really quick. It's been a long time since I have shown him in a video. He doesn't really like to sit still while I am recording. He'll sit on my lap for hours. But the moment the camera comes out, he wants nothing to do with me. But he wanted to come on here and say hello to his friend George. I did promise. Anyway, he just had a haircut this past week. He looks absolutely adorable. Anyway, I just thought it'd be fun to show him really quick. I love you, Fred. Okay, so treats have been given, and Fred has forgiven me for daring to show him in the video. The reason why I'm recording today on a Tuesday is because tomorrow I start a new job. It's a seasonal job so far. Have no idea how long that's gonna last, but it means kind of adjusting my recording schedule. So recording today on Tuesday, and then it gives me 3 evenings after work to edit the video, and then hopefully, if all goes well, the video will be out on Saturday morning like clockwork. I'm gonna do my best to still continue to put out videos every 2 weeks. I'm not sure content-wise what I will have to share and show, but I'm gonna do my best on the days that I have off to at least dedicate some time during those 3 days to, creating. That way, I do have stuff to show in the videos. So I'm gonna go ahead and dive in and start talking about what I have been working on over the past week and 2 days for me. So I continued working on the Shores of Hawthorne Hollow by Carriage House Samplings. I was restitching block number 1, and I'm very happy to say that I was able to complete, for the second time, the first block. I was so happy to finally have it complete. I feel like a weight has been lifted off my shoulders. So now this month I just need to make sure that I begin block number 2. So very, very happy to have this done. It did take me a little bit longer than I originally planned, but that water almost did me in for sure. It was tough. Stitching the lighthouse and the rocks, it went really well. I was enjoying it, but the moment I hit that water, I really struggled. So I have been working on this on Friday nights, and then occasionally I'll pick it up during the week. But on Friday night, I do a Zoom. I forget what it is they call it. I don't know if it's just Friday night Hawthorne Hollow Zoom or something like that, but I do it with a group of friends, and it's a lot of fun. And this last Friday, I was working on the sun, and I ended up having to unpick it a couple of times and restitch it. But then I think later on that night or the next day in the morning, I was able to finish the block. So very, very happy. So I'm stitching the Shores of Hawker Hollow on a piece of 40 count Prairie Grass by Seraphim Fabrics. And I am stitching it with the DMC conversion that is listed in the chart, stitching it 1/2. I love it. Love it, love it. So I do plan on picking up Shores again this coming Friday. And the assignment that we are working on is to stitch the double border. So there's the, the outside black border that you stitch, and then there's a border of blue, and we're doing the seaweed and then the crab. And I've been told not to attempt to stitch the seaweed on the Zoom meeting because you do need to pay very close attention to what you're stitching, or you're going to be doing a lot of unpicking. So I plan on maybe working on the border, the 2 borders, and then that night taking it into the, when I go to bed to stitch, and working on the seaweed. So for one evening last week, I worked on Christmas in My Heart by Scattered Seed Samplers. I started this one back in the fall, and then I've just kind of sporadically been picking it up. I did not get a chance to work on it in March, nor did I get a chance to work on Christmas at Hollyberry Farms. And both this and that piece is one that I want to get done this year. So I've kind of restructured my stitching, and I'll talk about that when I get done sharing my progress. But here is the progress I've made so far on Christmas in My Heart. So I worked on the second story. I think I was able to put the shutters on one of the windows. So I've completed the shutters on the 4 windows. I completed the wreath, and then just did fill-in of the house. I really love this one. And I know once I get the house done, I feel like it's gonna go really quickly. So I would like to get this one done. But I love it. It's so fun to work on. I love everything about this piece. I mean, it speaks to my vintage loving heart. I just love it. So I'm stitching Christmas in My Heart on a piece of 40 count Vintage Meadow Rue by Lakeside Linens, and I am using the called for threads, stitching 1/2. I love it. I love how those flowers just pop against the linen. I love it. Love it, love it. And then I worked on His Eye on the Sparrow by Heartstrings Samplery. So I'm stitching this with my friend Michelle, Cozy Egg. And I worked on this on one Saturday, and then it switched to this past Sunday. So we were stitching it on Saturdays until Easter, and then after Easter it switched to Sunday. So we'll be stitching on it on Sundays for the foreseeable future. But I love working on it. It's so much fun. I'm so happy that I have this project going. It's just a joy to work on. And I was able to finish the basket and flowers. I love it. That was a humongous basket of flowers, let me tell you. It took me so it would have been the last Saturday and then this past Sunday to finish. But I love it, love it, love it. Oh, this is so much fun. I can't wait to work on it again on Sunday. So I'm stitching His Eye on the Sparrow on a piece of 40 count One More Reproduction by BeStitchMe, and I am using the called for threads, stitching at 1/2. I love it. Love it, love it. And so many of you guys have started working on this one too. And it's so fun that so many of us will be working on it for many years together. So fun. I love working on it. It's so when Sunday ends and it's time to put this one away until the next week, it's so hard to do it because it's just so fun. I love it. Then last night I started back on And Heaven and Nature Sing by Barrick. So I started this one I think in January. So I started off doing it as assignments, but I've kind of reworked things a little bit, and I'll talk about that here in a second. But so far I have followed the assignment, but then tonight I'm I'm working like right in here. So I finished this, I filled in a little bit more of the deer, but tonight I plan on working right in here. And here's my progress. So I really love working on this one. It's so much fun, and I cannot wait to have this finished at Christmas this year. It's a project that I've had. It's been kitted on and off for, I don't know, the last maybe 4 years. I just love it, and so I'm really glad that my friends decided to start this and then have it be assignments. So it's been so much fun stitching with them. And I'm stitching this on a piece of 40 count Biscotti by Tropical Stitches, and I'm using Vicky Clayton silks, and I'm stitching it 1/2. Like I said, I absolutely love working on this one. But so let me tell you what happened. Of course, I went nutso and started a bunch of assignment projects with my friends, and it's been a lot of fun. But I guess it would have been the video that I did at the beginning of the year. I kind of was going to reevaluate everything about June. Well, it didn't quite make it to June before I decided to kind of reevaluate everything. So it's been a lot of fun doing assignments with friends, and I have some that will remain long-term assignments, like the Shores of Hawthorne Hollow, Houses of Hawthorne Hollow. I have Sarah Stewart Hardman, that will be assignment. I have my fall stitch that I work on with Yvette, and depending on what the assignment is, we usually, we'll pick a day of the week to work on it, or we'll do assignments. It just kind of depends. But in March, I really found it really difficult to keep up with the assignments. There was just way too much going on. And so I wasn't getting enough stitching time. And by the end of the month, I just felt like everything was starting to become a job, and I don't want that in my stitching. So I went ahead and I finished Elizabeth in March. It was always my intent to finish her. And then this month, I made the decision to finish Folksy Thomas, and he had been an assignment. And a lot of you guys wondered what had happened to my autumn on Lazy Bear Mountain, which I completely bumped. It's in the Mocking Basket of Whips, and I don't plan on bringing it out for a little while. I think Yvette and I talked about doing it as our autumn stitch a little bit down the road. But like Live on Little, I didn't get a chance to work on it. And that one had started off as being assignments, but I ended up deciding I wanted to get it done by the end of summer. So I started kind of I went my own way, I guess. But with all of the projects that I started last June and not being able to get to them, it was starting to really bother me. So I realized I would need to kind of reevaluate things. And the one thing that I missed so much was my rotation. And I know for some that's super boring. But, I liked, like last year, I had, a couple of assignments. A couple of assignments is perfect. But when you have like 7 assignments, it gets a little worky. So I decided I really missed having a rotation. I like just having a couple of assignments. So that way I won't get kicked out of the friend group, because I still do have assignments I'll be doing with them. The Hawthorne Hollow I'll be doing with them. So, but I think a lot of them too have kind of switched how they're doing stuff too. So I feel pretty safe and confident in saying that it's okay for me to say, I'm going to go back to my rotation. That worked for me. I was able to work on things out of the Mocking Basket of Whips, which made it very happy. And I missed it. So I've decided to go back to that. This month though, I plan on working on this tonight and tomorrow, and then it's going to rotate to next month, and then I'm going to finish it in May. So I'll do like I did with Folksy Thomas, where April 1st I started working on it and I worked on him until I was done. So I'll do the same thing with And Heaven and Nature Sing. So I anticipate a May finish on this. So I hope that makes sense. And I also hope people won't say, well, I told you so. Because really, this is my hobby, and experimenting with having assignments was fun. And I realized as I went along that it maybe isn't for me right now having that amount. That, just having like, 2, 3, or 4 assignments is perfect. And then I can spend the rest of the month working on the Mocking Basket of Whips. So it was a fun experiment, and I still have assignments that I'll be working on with friends, so that's awesome. But yeah, I just, I had to figure it out for myself. And, who knows, maybe once the Mocking Basket is emptied out again, I might decide to having like more assignments. But for right now, I'm just going to stick with the few that I have, enjoy stitching those with my friends, and then the rest of the month spend working on the Mocking Basket of Whips and having my rotation again. So last month I had finished working on Casting a Spell, and I have for the last, I think since 2020. I think it's been since 2020. I've had some sort of like an autumn project that I've been stitching with my friend Yvette, and we had just finished working on Casting a Spell, and a lot of you guys wanted to know what we had planned on working on next, and we decided to be very responsible. And in the fall this past year, out of the Winds of Autumn book by Blackbird Designs, we had started First Winds of Autumn. And this was a birthday start with Becky Socks for Mom and Christine Hollis Hands Creates. So we started in October, and I think I worked on it October, November, and then it's been hanging out in the Mocking Basket of Whips ever since. So we decided to be responsible and pick this one back up and work on it as our autumn stitch. And instead of having an assignment, because we're not in the same place, she's farther ahead than I am. There's a vine at the top of the bird, and then a lot of the birds filled in. So we decided not to do assignments, but instead do days of the week. So we will stitch this on the 13th and the 31st, or last day of the month, until it's completed. So this one I will be picking back up on the 13th and working on. I'm so super excited to be back working on it. I've thought about this one a whole heck ton, and it was my intention to try to find time to work on this and get it done before Halloween this year. So, when she suggested it, I 100% went for it. So I'm very, very excited. And of course, you guys know autumn is my favorite time of the year. So I literally could work on autumn every single day and be happy as a clam. So I think I'm stitching this on a piece of 36 count vintage beeswax, which is the called for linen. And I am using all of the called for threads. I did have a finish over the past week and a half. It comes out of the Hello Autumn book by Teresa Kogut. It's called Folksy Thomas. So on April 1st, I picked this back up and decided to work on it until it was done. And I think I had done a little bit of the vine down here and maybe a few of the letters. So when I picked it up, I basically had this corner all up here, the flower, and him to do. And I was able to get it done. So I was so thrilled when I got this finished. I love it. I love the colors. It's all of my favorite autumn colors. And so I'm very, very excited to have it done. I did make the decision that I'm going to frame this. I know a few times on Instagram I've seen it done into a pillow finish, which looks great. Maybe if I had done it on a 40 count, I might have done that, but I just decided it was right before I got him finished that I was just going to go ahead and frame him. I don't have a whole lot of autumn finishes to display around the house, so I think putting him in a frame will be perfect. So I stitched Folksy Thomas on a piece of 36 count parchment by Weeks Dye Works, and I used the called for threads, and I stitched it 1/2. I love him, love him, love him. So I did leave one thing off of my Folksy Thomas. He has this little bit of stitching that comes like from his like breast. So I don't know if it is a wing, like supposed to be the wing out. I'm not sure what it is, but I decided that it wasn't necessary to stitch, and he looks great. So I love him. Love him, love him. So I think I have quite a few projects now waiting to be framed, and I think I'm just gonna have to have like a frame-a-palooza one day and just frame everything. So very, very happy to have this one done. He's so cute. And I did this one, I started it with a group of friends. We did it as assignments, and a couple of us have finished it. So that's why I kind of felt okay about just going ahead and just stitching until he was done, because a few of our group had finished him. So super happy to have him done, and it's another one off the whip list. I was able to do a little finishing over the past week and a half, and I had shared the finished stitched piece in my last video, and that is Spring Awakens by Brenda Gervais with Dye Needle and Thread. So my plan had been to try to get it fully finished before Easter. So my last video came out basically the Saturday before Easter. So by the time that video had come out later that day, I had this fully finished. So I got it done just in time for Easter. So I think it turned out really, really cute. What I did is I went into my stash and I found a piece of backing fabric that I felt matched the piece. And I believe this is fabric by Kim Deal. And I really felt like it kind of helped, like the teal of her dress and all that just kind of like pop out as soon as I laid it across. And then in my stash, I also had just enough brown rickrack to go all the way around. I think by the time I got done, I had maybe like a 1/2 inch left, so it was cutting it pretty close. And originally, I wanted to attach beads, but after I started working with the rickrack, I decided to just tack it down and kind of make it look like it had a scalloped border. And I really, really like how it turned out. The stuffing inside here is polyester fiberfill. I was going to put some sawdust in, but I couldn't find the funnel that I use, and so I just decided to go with all fiberfill. I think it looks great. I stuffed it nice and stuffed, so it should, stand up for many years in the trench bowl. But I love how it turned out, and I'm so happy that I have a new Easter small or a new spring small to put in the trench bowl. Just makes me so happy. So I love it, and I loved working on it, and I hope to make more Easter or spring smalls in the future. Another thing I decided not to do was not to add any sort of doodads. I kept it very simple. I kind of toyed with the idea of hanging some buttons from it, but at the end of the day, I decided just to leave it just as it was. And before I forget, I stitched Spring Awakens on a piece of 40 count Vintage Country Mocha, and I used a variety of threads, and I stitched it 1/2. In my last video, I did have a giveaway, but before I get to that, there's something that I wanted to just remind everybody. I should have done this in my last video and I completely forgot, but the video before my last one, so it would have been sometime in February, there was somebody going into the comments and, it looked like me. It had my same little bubble. And then it said like at Pumpkin Hollow Quilts, and there was like a bunch of numbers after it. But they were commenting on different comments. saying that congratulations, you won a giveaway. If you can text me at this number, I will get your prize out to you. So what I want to remind everybody is, first of all, I only announce the winners of the giveaways in the videos. So before you contact me via email, you know what you won and I know what you won. The other thing is, I will never give my phone number out in a public comment. So that was not my phone number. I have no idea who it was, but it wasn't me. So, you know, I'm sorry that that happened. Unfortunately, these people go around to everybody's videos, not just Flosstubers, to every YouTuber's video. And they try to scam people into contacting them and sending them money. That's ultimately what it is, because it's like, well, I can't send you your package until you pay postage or until you pay so much or something. I'm not going to ask you to pay postage. If I offer up a giveaway, I'm paying the postage. So I'm never going to try to get money out of you. So if you see those type of comments, what you need to do is report them. And on YouTube, you can see the comment, and then there's like 3 little dots. If you click those dots, there's another menu that pops down, and I think it'll say, I think you can report the spam there. And it is a form of harassment. It's a form of phishing. So you have a couple of different options of what you can say to turn these people in. I was able to go in and report them before it got out of hand, but I even the other day had somebody contact me and say that they had received an email from YouTube, and you know that it was it was this comment that they were telling me about. So just remember, if you receive a comment like that, it is not me. And if you want a giveaway prize, you're going to know about it because I'm going to tell you like right now, and then you're going to email me and we're going to make contact, and I'm going to get your prize out to you. So I am sorry that happened. There's literally nothing I can do about it other than to tell you to report that person. They don't just do it on YouTube, they do it on Facebook too. Every so often I have to go in and delete comments because there's a guy, well, I don't know if it's a guy, but they go in and they'll say, oh, you're so beautiful, I just want to get to know you, send me a DM so we can, get to know each other better. And it's just a scam. And I usually just report them. A lot of the times before I get to it, the person who's received the comment reports them. But yeah, just report these people. And I'm sorry that happened. It'll probably happen 100 more times before we're done. But just remember, if you've won a giveaway, I'm going to tell you, like in the video, you're going to know to contact me, and we'll go from there. Anyway, I just want to put that reminder out. Now, back to the giveaway. So what you will need to do if I call your name is contact me via email, and I will put my contact information down below in the description box. Contact me via email, send me your address, I'll get your prize out in the mail to you as soon as possible. There were 2 prizes in my last video, and number 1 is for the Bunny Bakery kit by It's So Emma. This was a Stitch Quarterly Club kit, and the winner is, and this is your YouTube handle, Diane Knowles 2067, and I will scroll it across the bottom here. So Diane, congratulations. Number 2 was for the bundle of quilt patterns that I had received in my last video from the Fat Quarter Shop, and the winner of this is Nita P77, which I know Nita, it's Nita Pool, so congratulations, Nita. Again, if you guys can get a hold of me via email, send me your address, I will get these prizes out in the mail to you. I decided not to do a giveaway in today's video just because I do have to start working and kind of get a new normal going, but maybe in my following video I will figure some fun prize to give away. I still hope that you will consider sticking around to the end of the video, or even leaving me a comment down below. because whenever you do interact with the video, whenever you hit the like button or comment, it helps the algorithm of the video. So I hope you will, maybe consider leaving me a comment. I love reading them. But anyway, congratulations again to the winners. Maybe in my next video, I'll do a giveaway. I did make a couple purchases over the past couple of weeks. The first purchase I made is from Noodle and Flax, and I just happened to go on Instagram 5 minutes after she made this post, and she had limited availability of, I think it was 36 and 40 count Dolly Madison linen. So I went to her website and I bought it. I am never lucky enough to get to her website in time before she sells out, but I was so very lucky and I was able to snag a piece of 40 count Dolly Madison, which is absolutely scrumptious. I love this color so much. Such a great neutral. So I am very, 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 very happy that I was able to get it. And I ordered it and it came, I kid you not. So it comes from Michigan. I ordered it and it came not the next day, but the day after that. I couldn't believe it. It must have had wings. I was so surprised when it arrived. But so happy to snag a piece of that. I probably won't be lucky enough ever again, but I was that day. So I'm very, very happy to, get a piece. Her linen is really, really hard to get a hold of because everybody just loves it. So I was very happy to finally get a piece. And then from Homestead Needleworks, I purchased the board, which I left it packaged up. I know I probably should have taken it out, but I like to leave it in the packaging. That way it's kind of nice and secure until I get ready to fully finish it. But I purchased the board that goes behind a Stitcher's Alphabet by the Scarlet House. I don't have the chart yet. I do plan on getting it, down the road. But I saw that she had these back in stock. They sold out really quick the first time. So I decided to go ahead and get it. And that is her information. So I got the 40 count board because when I do get it, I will stitch it on a piece of 40 count. So I know I kind of jumped the gun on it. I kind of like getting the cart before the horse. But again, I wanted to make sure I had the board. That way when I do stitch the chart, it's all ready to go. As soon as I finish it, I can just fully finish it. So I was able to pick up both of those over the past week and a half. I did get a little bit of happy mail over the past week and a half. The first one came from Delilah. So this envelope went missing for a little while, but it did find its way to me eventually. So she sent me this cute note and these magnetic, there's threads everywhere. But she sent me these magnetic bookmarks, which are sewing related. I love them. And then she had found a panel of Christmas fabrics. So this would have been like a part of a bigger panel that you would have, cut and, done, you could have made a quilt or whatever you wanted with it. But I love them. They're so cute. Definitely right up my alley. I love the snowman. I also really love the house. So fun. So I think I probably was thinking maybe like an ornament, or I could make a little wall hanging. So we'll have to see. But so super sweet of her to send those to me. Thank you so much, Delilah. Love them. My friend Megan sent me a wonderful package last week, and Megan does have an Etsy shop called Not Forgotten Stitcher, and I'll put a link to her Etsy shop down below. She sent me this beautiful pewter Liberty Bell dish that I absolutely love, and I cannot wait to display around the house during the summer. I love it. She also sent me the Loyal Union Sampler quilt book from Elm Creek Quilts. This looks like a very fun quilt to make. I have read the Elm Creek quilt book series. I think I've read like the first 4 or 5. There's a lot of books in the series, but if you're a quilter and you love to read books about quilting, I would highly recommend. And then she also sent me some wonderful cross-stitch charts, which I absolutely love, especially this one, because I do live in a small house, and I think it would be perfect. There's this one, which would be such a cute little small to stitch. And I really love this one. So I might have to think about starting that one soon. And she did send me, it had come out of a cross stitch magazine. I can't show it to you, but it is a cross stitch by Blackbird Designs. And then there's also a little prairie schooler. So that one would be a lot of fun to stitch for the seasonal tree, especially. And there is this one, which I love. So fun. And I do really love this one as well. It also had this one with it. And then a quilt pattern is called Americana, A Harvest of Quilting. And I remember when I first got into quilting, there's a quilt shop here in the Willamette Valley that used to sell all of these patterns. And I remember looking through them and thinking there's no way I would ever be able to make that. And now I can say, I think I could probably make that. So thank you so very much, Megan. I've already been in contact with her. She is so absolutely sweet. So thank you, thank you. And then I received a wonderful package from Marcia. She had some quilt kits that she wanted to pass along to me, which was so very sweet of her. I have now got them out of order. So I do apologize. I'll try to, if I know they go together, I'll try to, say how they go together. But I cannot wait to start working on these. The first kit is called Sunday Supper by Kim Deal, and it was part of her Simple Whatnots Club Collection 1. So it comes with the pattern and then all of the fabric. This is called Whittly Tinks. It is also from Simple Whatnots Club Collection 1 by Kim Deal. So this one's got a bit of applique with it, so I will get to use my applique tools. She also included a pattern called Farmhouse Quilts. It's called Black Star by Liberty Homestead. This is what it looks like. And it has there's a little bit of embroidery that you do, and then it's got these are hand-dyed cottons that you cut out and use in making the quilt. It also has the felt. So these would be for the little flowers of this one. So this is Liberty Star. And I know I'm getting these totally out of order. Then I think that these also go with the Liberty Star quilt. So it's got a couple of those hand-dyed cottons, which I've never used them before, and I'm really excited to. She also sent a miniature magic, and this one she had started. So there's a couple of months done, but this one is so fantastic. Love it. So she's got some that have already been cut up, partially pieced together. And then in this one, there were a couple of blocks already done, but then these are different months. And these are also different months. So a lot of fun projects in that box, and I cannot wait to start working on them, especially this one. But first I have to do the other miniature quilt that I was supposed to start in January and do a block a week. And you see how well that's went. So when I get that one done, this one is definitely going to take its place. So thank you so very much, Marcia. I know I got all those all mixed up and out of place, and I will go and put them all back together and make sure that they're going with the right project. But thank you so, so very much. So very blessed. You guys are so very kind to me. Thank you. I have one last project to talk about, and that is a quilt project that I started. My original plan had been to have this quilt completed for today's video, but unfortunately that did not end up happening. I had some other things kind of come up and I wasn't able to complete it. But in my next video, I do hope to get it done, because one of the things that I want to make sure I do is once a week, I'm making something quilting related for myself, because I have a lot of wonderful quilts that I want to get made and I want to have out and I want to enjoy around my house. So the project that I started cutting out and have begun assembling is called Four Corners, and it is by Temecula Quilt Company. So this one you make 42 blocks, and I think I have 8 more to go. But I have the stack here. I'm not gonna go through the whole the whole stack. We'd be here all day, but they look like this. So they are so fun to put together. I've been enjoying working on them over, the past, week and a couple of days, and I can't wait to get it done. I haven't trimmed any of them up yet, so they still have all their little dog ears on them, but I'll do that before I put it in the quilt. So the background fabric is what you see pictured, and I have it all cut out and ready to assemble when I get the blocks done. So again, I do hope to have these to show you in my next video. They are done out of all Civil War reproduction. The blocks themselves are done scrappy, except the background fabric. I decided to go with all one background fabric. So I can't wait to get it done. I hope to have it to show you guys next time, because it calls to me constantly. When it gets to this point, it's like calling to me just to finish it. So maybe next time I'll have it to show you guys. Well, my friends, as far as everything goes, that is all I have to show and share in today's video. And if you've stuck around for this length of time, I thank you so very much. The plan for me will be to be back in 2 weeks. And if you have any questions about anything that I have shown today, I will list everything down in the description box. And if you don't see it, feel free to leave me a question down below and I'll do my best to answer it. But the plan will be for me to come back in 2 weeks and share what I have been working on. And if you would like to see what I'm up to in between my videos, you can follow me on Instagram. I'm Pumpkin Hollow Quilts, or I do have a Facebook page called Pumpkin Hollow Quilting, and I will put a link to both of those pages down below. Hope you guys have a wonderful couple of weeks, and I will see you all again soon. Bye.